everybody, welcome to another video. My name is Infiniti, and if you don't know, I'm the face, the voice, and the hands behind all the content here under Infiniti Crafting Co. and the website InfinityCraftingCompany.com. This is channel chat 121, aka day 4 of Vlogust. Today's topic was kind of a toss-up, to be honest. I think I was doom scrolling maybe a week ago and I stumbled across something interesting. So I think I'll talk a little bit about that. But first, I want to show, well, there's not really a lot to show. So you guys know I've been working on bookmarks, and usually when I make them with the thread, I can get about 6 of them out of a cone. And this particular color, I remember opening it for the zipper pouch tutorial that I did, but I didn't use much of it, so I don't know where the bulk of this cone went, or if it's just because it's a coarser feeling thread, they put less yardage in it maybe. I don't know. I lost the label a hot minute ago, so I don't really remember. But I was able to get 2 full bookmarks out of it using my 1.5mm. So here they are on the display thingy. I haven't taken pictures of these sage ones yet, so eventually I'll be adding that particular color to the listing that I made for the initial shop update that I did on I think I did it on the 30th actually of July, but we're going to say the 31st of July. I'm working on a 3rd one, and since there's so little of this left and I don't think I'll actually be able to put the tassel on it like I do for these, I think that this one will become mine so that I could product test. So I'm just kind of taking my time with this. My craft table is just a wonderland of green right now, and I'm really appreciating that because I have the skeins, the red heart skeins that I use for swatching for tutorials, and then I have, of course, the green project that I was working on in yesterday's episode, and then all of this thread, so it's just very aesthetic right now. It's a mess, but it's aesthetic. Okay, and speaking of yesterday's project, I got all 13 of my rows knit up, so probably later today when I get the lead out, I will come over here and start incorporating my second color, which is this beige. I have high hopes for this color combination. I don't know why in the past I thought it was more of a pinky color, probably because when I look at it and all the warm light over here, it just kind of reflects red a little bit on me. So one of those weird color things. I am kind of exhausted. Yesterday I got to go bowling, and you know, I won. It wasn't really a win to brag about because we were both awful at bowling, me and my brother. So it was kind of his first time going bowling, so I can't really gloat about winning against him because he is new and I am not. Which that really says something about my skill level, because yeah, but it was great fun. We both enjoyed ourselves and whatnots, so it was well worth it. I'm probably going to take a fat nap later this afternoon because of it though, but nonetheless I would love to do it again, kind of redeem myself, because I don't know, I have horrible aim, but again, it's about the fun. I don't know, I have horrible aim, but again, it's about the fun and the experience of it, not so much the winning part, even though we are both very competitive little individuals. So that was very interesting nonetheless. So today's topic, do I really want to work on this bookmark today? If I do, I have to take the glasses off, because like if I crochet with them on, I can't really, it's blurry, but if I take them off I can see clear, but then if I take these off, then I can't see my monitor as clearly as I can at this very moment. See, my life is complicated behind the lens, quite literally, like double lens, because of the camera lens and my glasses. I make horrible jokes when I'm tired, guys. Okay, so the other day I was doom scrolling on Instagram, and I stumbled across an interesting side of the like crochet Instagram thing. I guess it exists here on YouTube also with the shorts and whatnots, but nonetheless the topic was interesting. I didn't know that people on the internet argued about the types of yarn that other people use. It seems very strange to me, and I guess that speaks to how much I actually get involved with other stuff on the internet, but it's this weird debate apparently where people are like, oh, you know, if you use acrylic, that's gross kind of thing. And I'm like, what? I never once in all the years that I've been crocheting sat back and thought to, like, I guess that's human nature though, to kind of create cliques of sorts, but like over yarn, that seems strange. So the debate is that you shouldn't use acrylic, and some of the arguments where people are like, you know, garments or whatever that are made or designed with acrylic aren't that great as compared to, say, your more natural blends. And I don't think that's right. So, like, again, considering the length of time that I have crocheted, and I'm sure other crafters who have been crafting for a long time would agree, you tend to dabble in different fibers over time, especially now when there's such a wide variety that are available to us in this wonderful wide market of things. And then having the internet, we're able to get stuff that's imported, or, you know, stuff that's not common to our area. And so, you know, but that comes with leisure, I think, you know, and like ease of access. Because certainly, like when I started, I was 15, so I didn't have a job the first to pay for anything with. So I was always using like really inexpensive acrylic skeins, or like bamboo cotton, that kind of thing that I could find on eBay at the time. Things that didn't break the bank, basically, especially on a craft that I, you know, at the time was just thinking was a hobby. Singularly, you know, like a lot of people get into crochet just for that, just for the hobby experience. And so, you know, some people don't see merit in splurging on hobbies the way other people do. And it's not to say that, like, if you do splurge on your hobby, it's a bad thing, but I don't think people should be made to feel bad because of what they can and cannot afford to do, or choose to not afford to do, whichever may apply. I remember when I did, what was it? This is Vlogust, so I remember when I did Vlogust the first time, one of my topics was that crafting should be kind, and I still believe that. So, like, part of that is not making people feel bad about the things that they craft with. It's just like in the arts, you know, there's kind of this persnickety thing about the materials or the brands of paint that you use and whatnot. And, you know, not all of us are in the tax bracket to afford $40 tubes of paint. I'm certainly not. And just the same, not all of us are in the, you know, the income bracket of paying for that super premium hand-dyed yarn often, or even the stuff that I'm currently knitting with, this. You know, so I have a hobby, right? A habit, really, of like watching brands and kind of gauging whether or not I want to take on that risk to my finances. And so it took me a very long time to decide to muster up the dollars to actually invest in Wool in the Gang's wool. So, and I know I'm not the only one that thinks like that, because it's like, you know, you're trying to kind of measure how worth it that investment is and whatnot. And then, like, again, some people just can't. And I find that to be the wonderful thing about now that we do have like all these open marketplaces and things like that, and online, is the fact that we can access less expensive materials. So like whatever your principle is, there's always a lower end and then there's a higher end. And that's kind of what I like about the creative arts now, that there's not such a huge barrier to entry because everything doesn't cost an arm and a kidney. But I found that to be just, it's kind of sad. So like I said, for sure, when I got started, and even now, I can't really afford to like splurge on a bunch of yarn stuff. Most of the yarn in my stash is stuff that I got and collected over the years. So I know I have like a wonder wall of fiber, but that's just because I hoard it like a dragon. But most of it's acrylic. And again, it's that low barrier to entry. And then I think of it on, or in the terms of like when I do my designs and things like that and want to release them, a way that when people look at them, they don't feel like, you know, maybe that's too rich for their blood, so to speak, you know? Like, yeah, sure, I want people to see value in my patterns, but I'm not gonna sit up and design all of my designs with like $40 yarn and expect people to be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna buy all the yarn for that and all that. I like to design with acrylic, because when I do LinkedIn yarns and stuff like that, I want it to be something that's like within reach, and then something that's easily accessible too, that people don't just have to like wait for and whatnot. And then I also find that it's easier to find substitutes for said yarns, because I have sat up and done patterns with specific yarns, probably because of affiliate links or things like that. And in the back of my mind while I'm doing them, I'm like, geez, how the heck am I gonna write in an alternative yarn for this in case people don't want to splurge on this specific thing, because it's pricey. That runs through my mind. Like, some of my patterns I just have to kind of let live there, but for the most part I want people to just see my designs at least, and be like, oh, okay, cool, that's accessible, that's doable. I will never understand people that like to be so mean when it comes to just creative things, as it kind of kills the whole spirit of crafting in the first place. Crafting for most people is just a joy, and it's something that they do to relax and unwind. And I feel like tongue-tied today. I feel like the last thing that people should be thinking of while they're sitting back and trying to unwind from their day is, oh my gosh, is my yarn good enough for some rando on the internet that might judge me? Like, come on. And I think by and large most people ignore people like that, because it's like, unless you're gonna like fork over the money and buy my yarn for me and make me work with it, then your opinion is like worth a hill of beans. But for people who are kind of new to crafting and stuff, and they're just trying to figure out where they want to nestle into that, it can be kind of disheartening and discouraging. Oh my gosh, which reminds me of how when I started knitting, oh my gosh, I made the unfortunate mistake of showing off my stuff on Reddit, and I almost did not pursue knitting after that, which I will tell that story another day, because it's, I don't know, it's funny, but it kind of goes back into the crafting should be kind thing. And I've also said in the past, like, unless you're designing patterns and stuff and like people are spending their money on it, sure, your customers they're entitled to their opinions and feedback and things like that. In a, you know, I'm not saying that it has to be sparkly and rainbowy, but like, you know, people have feelings. They are human beings typically behind the design, so like, be nice. I haven't had a problem personally with that, but I know some people who do get these persnickety comments on their patterns or in their emails, and it's like, it's kind of unnecessary, and you still bought the pattern anyway. But okay, you know. But for the most part, I'm kind of chill about stuff, especially as it pertains to online. It just kind of rolls off my back. But I did find that an interesting tidbit to run across, and again, totally unaware that it was even a thing. It's like one of those things that's a thing, but it shouldn't be. But I always say, just craft with whatever intrigues you. For the most part, like I said, I tend to design with acrylic because it's both accessible to me and the audience that I cater to. And again, it's good for designing because when you screw up, it doesn't do what natural fibers do because of all the oils in your hands, and any moisture gets on it, then it starts felting, and you'll never be able to frog it ever. So, you know, it's a lot more forgiving basically, especially to beginners who are trying to make projects and things like that. You don't really have to get all into the fancy stuff in the beginning, or ever if you don't want to. If you can't justify it, then that's fine too. But again, people shouldn't make a thing out of, like, a mountain out of a molehill, in my opinion. My humble opinion. But you guys can let me know in the comments below if you've ever run into that kind of thing, and if so, how did you deal with it? I would definitely love the conversation. Okay, today's channel chat is going to be super duper short. I don't want to keep you guys long today, I promise. There's also no pot for today. I have decided to put a pause on that, and perhaps I will spend this evening updating listings in the shop, and I will try to have a pot for tomorrow to show off. Like I said, I only have about 25 pieces, and there are I want to say 31 days in this month, but at the moment my brain is not computing. So, you know, a few skip days on the pots won't be so bad. I hope you guys have been enjoying the things that I've been putting in the shop thus far. If you haven't checked out the total shop update this month, I have put some of my crochet items, including my bookmarks and my water bottle holders, in shop. So if you want to check that out and support the channel, you can. I did start on the Mountain Forager shrug for the members club. So if you've been wanting to make that for a while and just haven't gotten around to that, if you sign up for the members club, then that will be available to you no later than the 15th. I am aiming for the 10th though. I think right now, or as I left it, I have to add in the pictures and then just embed the videos and stuff, and then that one will be ready to go, and I'll start working on the Genesis top after I do that one. So again, to find that why am I so tongue-tied? So again, to find that members program, you want to head over to my website and hit the Hey Craftapreneur tab along the menu bar and sign up through that tab. And you'll find the whole list of benefits and a little intro video at the top of the page as well if you need extra convincing. I can't wait to share the rest of my designs with you guys. I am going to go probably take a well-deserved nap. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday, and until tomorrow guys, happy making.